back to short they go. Might have to be this retake round. 5 Kevlar, though. It's not going to be easy. Oh, they're flooding.
Spooky and Nikados able to make these first few incisions, and just like that, OG are spilling into the site. George doing what he can to resist it, and they'll chase this final kill. But it does elude them. Nikados still applying a lot of pressure. NRG just never given the room to get comfortable, and so George left in this all alone. Box is closing. All sides, they move in on him, and there's nowhere for George to run. If you're NRG, that really means you wanna be taking this one. They've got every edge. Are they ready for the OG play? Aggression in at the ramp side. Buzz gonna open. They lose Nikados in the downtime. That's the rifle removed from play.
Quick on this A split now. George walks through the palace smoke. That's ballsy. Nobody looking, but out under. They don't check. They don't realize Prison's here the whole time. Ugh, it's not clean, but he gets an upgrade. Looks for a little bit more. The captain of OG shuts them down with 3 kills on this A site, and he's got something to say about that. Palace pop. But look at the range game right now. Sure, you can make it the default with that smoke. It's kind of a nice smoke on the lip for NRG. It gives him spawn control, but OG have the guns, have now the advantage. And just look to contain. Swinging spawn into the rifle does no favors for NRG. So OG look good to finish the job, but OC hits a banger.
That was really clean. But he's going to need a bunch more just like that if he wants to save the day.
Like that.
Oh my God! OC, how many more's he got in him? That was real close. This one's down to the wire, but OG still walk away with it.
George gonna try and sell A. Gets picked by Buzz, close on that position. The bomb was going under as well. This is still going to end A side. Losing George provides no favors here to NRG. And so back up they go with Bro splitting short. The third player starting to move on over. This AWP bears down on the apartments cross.
Things go from bad to worse, and now you realize you're going into a stack. NRG played right into the hands of this OG squad, and Nikados just allowed to feast on these crossing players. All right, Nitro, that's come from nowhere, but he's got 15 seconds. Time is not on Nitro's side here. Swing out. Prison will put him down.
And one thing that's been really interesting is, like, for the longest time, we've talked about how Nikados, but it's something that we've seen elude him at majors before. We've seen him eliminated in Copenhagen off the back of weak AWPing.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's just nice to not feel like he's been pigeonholed at all into one or the other. It's whatever Nikados wants in the moment, he's hitting with, right? His rifling's been fantastic, and I'm inclined to agree with you. The AWPing's felt very, very stable. The output, whenever he dons one. And this is going so horribly for NRG. This is their map pick in the series. And they're about to find themselves 6-0 down unless by some miracle they can save this 3v5.
Dawes gets a second chance at life as well. That smoke can evade capture. Buzz caught on A, that's something, but deep on the ramp is the captain. And you've got to get past Spooky to get there. One more from him. 3 on 2 now, and as this smoke fades, Nikados has an open sight line, so NRG have to reposition quick. They have to find this A anchor. They know they've lost him. Prison moving in, gets his kill before the flash pops, and there's no saving this round, Hex. A bomb plant is your best bet.
Got his first 2 kills of the game in this round, and now he is to 1v3 for an ace clutch. Secured the bomb plant, made extra money. Can it be anything more than that? He's trapped in under the palace.
think they've both worked it out. The jump spots clear almost every position he could be in. And they surround the balcony. So OG, a very clean game right now.
Gonna put a bit more attention there. I think that's something that has been lacking here for NRG, is having these like 1-2 punches to deal with the early aggression. OG have been able to seek a lot of individual fights on this CT side. This is an adaptation from NRG trying to remedy that. They go faster out towards A with numbers. And they leave Bro to his own devices out in middle.
Oh, Nuke does though. Clean headshot will set OG up quicker for this retake. We've had this spawn play before. NRG this time they're going to get met there. Anti-flash on both teams as they slowly move in. Fiku going to flash them high in. NRG dodge it though. They're ready with numbers. Trade is good. Hex lines up 2. Might need this third one just to guarantee the round. And Hex puts on another multi-kill to give NRG their first. Nikados, no kit, no chance. And that will be the North American hopefuls on the board. About time.
Terrorists win. I mean, Hex has just turned the dial up in these last 2 rounds. He was 0-5 heading into the last round of play. He's managed 6 kills since that point, 2 in the round prior to get the plant. And a beautiful little 4-piece here. Single-handedly just stopping that retake before it can even take shape. Back into the A play again. Buzz gonna go unaccounted for, and that might be a double on a plate. Even though they managed the trade, they've lost a lot to get this ground. OC's at 1 health. And Nitro's now been softened up as well. These nades gonna feel punishing.
Oh!
Captain of NRG left in a rough spot. Spam continuing just to ricochet through this box. And Nitro looking at worse for wear. He's being wrapped through the spawn as well. Nikados ready to react at a moment's notice. Swing from the stairs. They know they've got Nitro boxed in, and so OG just never let up.
Yeah, nothing he could do there. Even if he tries to plant, he's going to get spammed through that box. 10 health.
And you know, I think when you're playing this brand of CS, like, you have to be very active in terms of like the comms. You have to know exactly what your teammates are doing at any moment in time, because you're all moving, right? You're always in transition and moving around the map. OG in the one loss that they faced, they said that, yeah, our communication just wasn't there. And I think it makes a lot of sense as to why it feels like that hamstrung the team. Hang on a second though, this one's suddenly got very interesting with Nitro getting away with murder.
He's an AWPer.
Rolling back the years, a little bit of liquid gold for Nitro as he's donned that AWP to secure the round for the NRG squad.
Cheeky. That's crazy. Flash doesn't even really do that much, but Buzz drops in. Bomb's still here.
Sometimes the confidence of just knowing a flash is coming is all that matters. And that's a good example of it. Buzz throwing into that fight early. Bro has alleviated some pressure here by carving a path in through the window. He puts a lot of pressure on the OG kind of back line. They have to go back and make sure he's not spilling over.
And Nikados has rotated round. Chris cleared this out, so the info is there, but the control is going to be gifted.
Orp knocked out on the line. Are they ready for Buzz? Slightly further afield on this off angle, but just good for one.
Flanks are so quick.
It's a double flank too. Even though you might be ready for this first player, even then the timing that Bro, or Krisen has rather, is fantastic. And it's spooky as the second piece. Coming in through Palace, they've got no clue. You would never be ready for 2 players this hot on your heels. Nitro's been put in a rough spot, having to try and clutch up all on his lonesome. Entire site now cleared by OG. Nitro can't handle it. And it's the decisiveness there from OG that puts them in such a beautiful position. NRG did a great job.
OC, chance to dance in middle, but just a random timing swing before that smoke blooms. And Krisen takes a 5v4. Bit of paranoia. They go back towards connector as a pack. It's Buzz hiding back sight, the player you might not be ready for. Oh, or maybe you are.
George turns out is extremely ready for it. Spams Buzz to death, and that was OG. That was hopefully their diamond in the rough as far as they were concerned instead. First domino to fall on this site hit, and things go from bad to worse.
Oh, don't give him this, or they're in.
Nikodos holding for it. But even then, bro, there's no real reason to swing into this fight. He's already on the angle. They can't come through, and all that matters is winning the round at this point. He tests the water on a little jiggle there, knowing now that OG are saving. And so this is NRG trying to break back in right down the end of this half. Trading back and forth with OG.
Yeah, great spam for George because the whole round is set around Buzz there. They are baiting for him. Or Nikodos warping the line. Krisen just rotates in time. Get that molly out.
Slowed the roll, it's bought some much needed time. Fiku, unaccounted for, and that might be a disaster. They leap right over him, and now they go into the mauling that is OG. They bring everyone over, and they decimate that B hit. OG are running away with NRG's map pick.
It's an old school smoke for the jungle side as OG come out under.
They're using that smoke to obscure vision and get up through short. They're looking for this play in a B. And right now at range is your best bet on these USPs to try and thin the herd. Bro will manage exactly that. Spent a lot of time around the bench as Bro, and so nailing two from it.
So OG have a call to make. Krisen goes searching for answers on A. Bomb tempted by that B bomb site though, 25. There's the swing, denied. Fiku with excellent cover. And that molly is not the end of the world. They have time to go after the fact. Unless Krisen calls them over, he's got the info on George, trapped out close. Bomb's gonna come in as well. 15 seconds, they need this kill desperately. It's gonna come through, just enough for the plant.
And they hear two players having already rotated up close in CT. That's pieced together a lot of this retake for the OG squad. At most, they've got one other guy unaccounted for.
Oh.
He does. Just going to meet them head on the push out through the spawn.
See ya.
Hex living on borrowed time. He'll get hunted down. OC's left cowering back in the spawn, trying to save this gun. And OG are not in a forgiving mood. They'll hunt down and remove everything from the NRG ranks.
Volleying Hexed out of position with a lineup as well. It's gonna burn. Oh dear. Easy entry. Going through the smoke, Krisen again, calling the bluff, outstairs. He's got so much room, and Buzz is going to confirm what they already know. A, weakened with the death of Nitro. The anchor's still alive, and so cautious is Buzz as he climbs over looking for George. They're going hunting for him. Buzz does get caught, but info is good, and Krisen advanced position put down. George keeping this round alive. He's on 3 health.
Absolutely had no business getting out with both kills there, but George has exceeded expectations in this ramp hold, and he's given NRG a fighting chance in this round.
Bomb down.
Viku and Nikodos are worlds apart. That swing from George gives one up for free. Nikodos trying to close the gap in with a backstab. And Fiku left to fight forward. Sees an arm, see it to turn and leave the line. That one is on a knife's edge. But NRG keep their heads above water for now.
Yeah. What's Krisen calling from the other side of the map? Perhaps on this underlurk. OG make their presence known prior to that, popping through this ramp smoke. George in a lot of trouble.
Oh, that's a wild opener. George isn't able to find a thing either. OC's AWP will get run through. And it's the pistols that shine in this round. Nitro tries to play his hand out now from the spawn side, but he's been spotted. They know where he is. And they know that Hext is this B player coming in a little bit later. So for now, OG feeling very content with where they're at in the round. They've dealt with Hext, and they've got Nitro trapped in a box.
I love the freeze call there as well. It's 4v3. They've got a double entry. Krisen's coming out under at that point. He says, everyone stop. And OG have never really been threatened in middle in this T side. NRG have allowed it. They have no choice in a round like this, but what it will mean is we have a B split. Krisen coming up cat, they jump out apps.
Yeah, NRG at least got the info early, so they're going to have nearly a full stack here with more on the way. Hext even opening to kickstart this for NRG is a nice touch, but he will fall next. These pistols getting cleaned up. Krisen makes a play through the smoke and hits their back. Now it's just Nitro, the man that got all this info on the A push, but he's been spotted and dealt with up in the apartments. OG, 6 chances to close out NRG's pick in their favor. Once he gets all this room, it's like he's not going to pass up on that. He's called the team around to come and join him. Krisen's in the lion's den, but won't be able to find success instead. It's George holding out, finally overran. Nikados trying to roll it back on the AK, now left as the last line of offense for OG. They tried to close the gap to deal with him. And 2 players splitting upon Nikados. He can't do a thing. It's a step in the right direction for NRG.
Yeah, nice push in for Hex as well. He had that round safeguarded.
And it's like now they need to start their first streak in this game. And that's to try and drag it through into overtime. This is uncharted territory right now.
Oh, last bullet. Krisen, robbery. Nichko flooding out the palace. And already sight lost. Round potentially falling the same way. 4v2. OG poised to finish what they started and keep up those brutal, responsive rounds. As NRG just can't streak them together. They cannot survive in their map pick. 2v4, Krisen hasn't reloaded. He probably doesn't need to. Glock out, Nitro finds that kill, but he's all that remains, and you know where this one's going. OG sneak in and shut down NRG's map pick. The Americans on home soil are put to the test as OG come through with the first. Well, time to get the shovel out, NRG. Dig yourself out of this hole, or you will be going to the final day of play tomorrow, fighting for survival.
Fast play into the top site, and NRG.
Whoa, yeah.
Oh, well,
can't jump up.
That's a little awkward for Nitro. Still, there's his team to uplift the rest of the round. The pistol secured for NRG. Strong start here.
Out they go. Full wall first. Trying to make NRG panic, but Bro's cleared this entirely, so Nitro mollies. He knows what's up.
Yeah, they're ready for this. That's great timing on the clear outside. Still, Spooky's been able to get great mileage out of his lurk through yard. Gets away with 2 kills. Oh, ready for the swing out in heaven. And Spooky's scary. Now it's just OC 1v2. Doesn't know where they've gotten to. Bomb still dropped inside of A though.
Will he check main? Or will he get shot in the side of the head? He goes back, he looks away, and that might be it. Hit the shot for Spooky. 4 kills off of the Deagle. Undeniable. All right, pep in their step. Put down quickly. Reality check. 3 kills for NRG on the top rush. And I think OG... Oh, no!
It's all good. He's recovered it, I guess.
0 damage. I think OG need to leave this top site alone. 3 rounds in a row.
Krisen, though, a lot of room out in the yard.
Are you thinking 2v5?
I'm scared it could happen.
OG announced their presence.
With where the bombs dropped in the hut, it's Nitro playing to deny the pickup. But a smoke goes in. They've now got to play ahead of that. Prison's just looking for this bomb retrieval. And this 2v5 is coming in from OG. It's only Nitro who can put a stop to it. And up on the rafters, Nikodos sends his regards. That's a 2v5 out of OG.
Late smokes coming from Spawn. Chris actually, yeah, they get thrown out and they cross before the smokes even bloom. That's the last thing Bro expects. He hears the smokes, he tries to reposition, they're already out. George is already down, but he can't block this play. He has to fight for it. Missed vent smoke. And Buzz cut down on his drop. Two lower. NRG haven't revealed what they're up to just yet. And Chrisen, somehow still alive, shouldn't be. The nade ends his round. There's still a second layer to this lurk. Ooh. Fiku surviving gives Nikodos the option to win the round. Who clears this?
Nikodos. That's who clears this. He is the one who clears. He is the danger. Quick kill on his way up through the heavens. Breaking back into this round. Fiku gonna catch them back in the door. OG have already won a 2v5 in this game. This is a 2v4 from Nikodos and Fiku.
Light work.
And they've grinded through the ranks of NRG. Now it's just George and Hext playing late, having a run, the ramp rotate. That's info for OG. They know where these players are coming from. And now it's confirmed. Nikodos knows that they're both lobby bound on this retake. He's got Heaven. It's a strong post plant, a tricky one for NRG to contest with. Nikodos goes in, and Hext plays it perfectly, swinging out a little later.
Can they flush him out, or do they walk past this entirely? There's the check. Nitro takes his free kill. They know everyone's outside now, but is it B or is it A? It's still a question. Spooky leaves it up for debate. They cross lower with a fantastic shot onto Bro, but they don't have to end the round right here. Wait for that lurk. If OG can make this look like a B play, Spooky can backstab too.
Finding Hext might be a little harder, but Nitro's on a platter. He knows about the players in a ramp now, both of them. Tries to milk it for all he can. Doesn't want to overstay his welcome, just takes the Nitro kill while he's got it. That lets Hext stay alive down in a lower and continue offering up this resistance. Very little time left to get this bomb planted. Open to the ramp side, but OC not in a position to punish. And George arrives just seconds too late to have any say before that bomb goes down. It's a retake now for NRG.
What a wrap, though, for Chris, and this is great timing right now. Even though the bomb's not for him, he might get the kill before it matters. They fake it out, door blown off. That gets them off the bomb, and Spooky finds the headshot. 4-2, OG come through with another collapsing round.
In 1.5 maps have played, has streaked together 2 rounds in a row. They didn't do it back on Mirage. They haven't started to even come close to it here on Nuke. The one time they did was a pistol round in the conversion, and that was last map. Here they won the pistol, lost to the force buy. OG have been very annoying out in the yard, and that will continue. This is a team with some very nice ideas to how to go about and approach this yard control.
So many variations.
Yeah.
As well.
And it's the fact that, like, more often than not, they really like these, you know, you throw like one of the cross smokes outside from spawn, you do the other on the fly, and you peek around the first smoke. They do that a hell of a lot. And it puts you in a weird position as the yard player. It's like, do you want to fight? Do you want to get caught? Like, that's the fight they're looking for, playing around the yard smokes.
NRG essentially haven't played yard.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that comes from the way that OG are playing around this util, and that's something they've been doing for a while. It's not just exclusive to, like, this one game. It's not like that's a pattern they've noticed that they could use against NRG.
Like I said, NRG haven't really fought outside. They've not had the orb. They've also dropped Bro down vent most rounds. He's been getting owned. So this round he goes and takes his first proper fight outside. It's a pretty favorable fight, and Fiku just knocks him off the top of blue. Swimming, not sinking. Oh. And let's be real. When we've seen Nikodos at majors, he's always made it to that top 16. Playoffs twice over. This is not a guy who wants to go out in the new stage 3. In the bottom 32, he has higher aspirations. He's playing like it as well. 13-4 on the AK in this T side. We're nowhere near done. Nikodos waits for the lobby attack. Just going to spam them through the smoke. Meanwhile, Heaven Control, it just felt like Krizen's all game long.
God.
Beautiful shot, bro gone. Got a feel for him in this game. He's not had a chance as Nikodos spams them. They drop in. This is just brutal. OG laughing the way to a dominant T side, and Hex is lost in the smoke.
Okay, they just traded places, which could still work out for Hex, but look at who's bearing down upon him. It's Krizen, this guy. He has been omnipresent. He's been all over this map.
Something to be admired there, the consistency of making these runs happen. And even though at times you could levy that it's a one-man army, it's really not. He may be taking the glory. And OG, I mean, they just feel like they can do no wrong right now. They're going to run out lower, 25 seconds. They've got a lurker. It doesn't even matter. There's no one on this B-bomb site, and Spooky knows living is worth its weight in gold. Won't be allowed to. But this is still a retake right now for NRG. They don't have the rounds to think about saving their guns. They've got to try and save this situation.
Ooh, catch on the vent is big. Gets him that path to rotate down. This retake can try and take shape now. Hexed and OC are very, very wounded. Nitro's the one guy with health. And so might find himself having to be a difference maker here. Krizen just going to reposition, gets out onto the rafter in time. Clean stuff for the first, but it's set up for Fiku to try and close. Longest standing player in the OG jersey. And he knows what he's doing. He knows how to handle himself in that clutch. Stellar little 1v2 to rub salt in the wound.
OG unstoppable. An orc that has been middling of the pack in Counter-Strike for the longest time. Coming through with a brand new roster, with a young squad, and with a statement here in Austin. Just a few rounds from that next stage.
Yeah, I mean, OG is, you know, as a team, maybe best known for just occasional individual pieces that have been here and then got plucked out and gone onto greener pastures. You've rarely had a whole squad to rally behind. Fiku's been here throughout most of those rosters.
Yeah, 3 years.
Finally, though, NRG looking for one extra round down the tail end of this first half. As OG get a little loose with it, NRG will find their way to a third. And NRG have just never really got going here on Nuke. Throughout the entire series so far, they have yet to chain together 2 rounds in a row. That's how dominant this has been against them.
It's a horrible stat to think about. They could get better off of a pistol. Hex gives us something to believe in, and they cross their way to secret, fighting all the way while they do. OG have a player down lower already. Krizen stops Hex roll, and Julies want to go down the vent, but Krizen's got to clear it out for his teammate, and he will. Simple as that. Makes it look easy. Can the drop come in? Does it even need to? Krizen killing everything that stands.
Let's fucking go! Nice, Krizen!
So at bare minimum, you want to make a good impression. Yard smoke's down, but Krizen's done a lot of damage. That nade might even find Nitro, yeah. Captain's clash and Nitro out of the picture now. Nikodos even on this routing up through secret. Things go from bad to worse. Yard was the recipe to success for OG all first half long, and it's where they'll bury NRG to move in into that second stage here in Austin. A convincing victory, not even close. NRG unable to put 2 rounds together in the entire series. That is as dominant as it gets.